Thank you, Tom. Labor is reinforcing plans to take climate change action, claiming it's the key to a prosperous economy. Climate Change and Energy Minister Chris Bowen is paving the way for an expansion of the gas sector by limiting fossil fuel exports. He believes cuts to transport emissions are crucial to achieving the target of doubling renewables within the next 5 years. The minister says he'll stand by Labor's vehicle of emissions policy and not put up the price of any car. All right, let's get the National Senator M.Canavan's response to all this. So, Matt, good morning to you. Like it or not, the government's fast-tracking its renewables rollout because Chris Bowen believes 2030 targets are still attainable. He might be the only one who thinks that, though.
Well, I was going to say, Peter, I've got a bridge to sell you too this morning. I hope you're interested. I mean, let's look at the evidence here. In the first 2 years, this government was in power. They increased the share of renewable energy at a rate of 2 percentage points a year. To meet their 82% target, they'd need to quadruple that to 8 percentage points per year, a growth rate that's never been achieved in Australian history. They have to do that for 6 years running. They certainly haven't done that probably over last year. We haven't got the data, but it's almost certainly got nowhere near that this year either. So it's probably going to be more like 10 percentage points a year they'll need in just 5 years to hit this target. I mean, who believes this? It's absolutely absurd. The market doesn't believe it. Analysts don't believe it. The only one that seems to believe it is Chris Bowen. Now, keep in mind this 82% renewable target, it was invented in Labor's modelling for the 2022 election by that company, Reputex. That modelling said that your power bills would be $275 a year lower right now. That obviously hasn't happened. And so the question has to be asked is, what modelling has Labor commissioned since? What analysis have they done since, given that the previous modelling was a load of rubbish? What have they done since to actually show that they can meet this target, or is this just complete pipe dreams? And what does that mean then for our power bills going forward?
Barnaby Joyce has reportedly told Andrew Hastie not to support his private member's bill because Barnaby thinks Hastie would get demoted to the backbench. Do you share Barnaby's view on that?
Well, look, I'm happy to let Andrew decide what he thinks is in the best interests of the country and obviously for himself as well. Look, I mean, I'm not going to comment on what other people should or shouldn't do. I support the bill that Barnaby has introduced, the repeal net zero bill. I do intend to introduce that into the Senate as well because I think, as I've said for a long time, it's high time our country had a proper debate about this. As I just mentioned, we were promised when net zero was signed up to, we were promised lower power bills. That hasn't happened. We were promised lots of jobs in critical minerals. Instead, we're losing industries hand over fist with the risk of losing more in a very short space of time. So, look, I just don't think this thing is working. And it's about time it gets put under the microscope. We have a debate. And we give the Australian people a choice.
How do you propose to get the cities back, though? If you push ahead with that plan, the cities have, by and large, voted for net zero and fast-tracked renewable action. So if you pursue down your path, how does the coalition get back into government?
I mean, what evidence do you have for that? As I just said, Australian people haven't had a choice. I mean, both major parties have proposed net zero at the last 2 elections. There's never been an election where there's been one party proposing net zero and the other not. So I just don't buy this at all. When you look actually at the detailed polling on this, all Australians, including those in the city, would pay next to nothing to meet net zero emissions. I mean, in fairness, what does it mean? I mean, today, Chris Bowen's out there saying he's going to meet these targets and reduce our emissions. How does that help people's lives? People are really struggling in this country right now. They're struggling to pay their bills. Infrastructure is crumbling. People want their lives to be made better. These mythical emission target reductions, which aren't going to happen, mean nothing for people. And as I say, when you ask them, how much would you pay to reach net zero emissions, the vast majority of Australians would pay less than $2 a week. $2 a week. A cup of coffee, I just bought a cup of coffee, less than that a week. They would pay for this. And that's why I come back to the fact that I think if we actually gave people a choice, that very soon people would understand that the emperor has no clothes here, that this whole scheme to reduce Australia's emissions is going to do nothing for the environment. It's just going to put up the bills of average Australians. And so I don't think people will vote in the cities or the regions. I don't think people will vote for a policy that is all pain and no gain.
All right, M.Canavan, good to see you this morning.